Hello, everyone. I'm BugDr. You may remember me from a moment ago when I ran Star Tropics. And here's my co-host, Zero
Wow.
Counts.
Wow.
Yeah, you
Demoted
forgot
within seconds.
forgot your
Yeah.
name for a moment.
Yeah.
Um,
Hello.
you may remember him from a moment ago as well. Um,
Yes. Hello.
yeah. So now that we've cleared Star Tropics 1, we're gonna play Star Tropics 2, which I'm not nearly as good at and has a lot of stressful moments. So Um, it's a great game, and it's one that everyone should play. Um, whether you like the first one or not, just play it. Play the darn game. Yeah, I'm gonna get started, and we got a whole chapter of just talking, so we can just kind of talk over that. So, three, two, one, go. So yeah, Star Tropics 2 takes place like a few months after Star Tropics 1. It's very shortly after. Mike has had enough time to buy a really sick jean jacket, and just really make himself look good for this game.
I love that little like pompadour style hair he's got.
Yeah,
Looks good.
I like when it's
So
like blowing around later when he's on the airship. It's just
I
like flying back and forth. It's funny.
I suppose it's important to actually talk about who Micah is because we got the we got the end of the
Yeah,
game
true.
skip before, so yeah, nobody actually knows if you saw Star Tropics 1, the run for that, you didn't catch that. So if we would have played out the end of Star Tropics 1, you would have found out that there were these alien children called the Argonians inside of the magic cubes, and they were using those magic cubes sort of as like a what do you call it, like a um, I don't know. They're using them to escape their planet.
Their
And
essence, their
yeah,
essence was time frozen in the magic
there it is.
cubes.
Yes,
You
indeed.
got it.
And so yeah. Anyway, the Micah is now talking to us using like psychic powers. Um, and I don't know. This game really turns the story up even crazier than Star Tropics One
Yes.
did. So bear with us here. So Bug Doctor is kind of walking on the overworld here in sort of a weird pattern. That's because there's these like uh, tiles on the snow that will cause him to fall into a dungeon.
Yeah.
And we don't have any weapon right now, and falling into those dungeons just wastes time because there's a way you can walk through it without falling or going into those dungeons. So that's what we do.
Yeah.
But hey, we're not weaponless for very long because we just got a weapon from that caveman there. And he gave us this
Ink.
axe. Yes. He
Link's
gave
relative or something.
right because the ink. Yeah, I get it.
Tink's Adventure.
Yeah.
You ever played that
Uh,
game, Tink's Adventure?
so we have an axe now. Also we traveled back in time for
Yeah.
reasons. Yeah,
It's
that's
kind of
why
an
we're
important
in
thing
the
to
Ice Age right
cover.
now. Yeah. So immediately you will notice some differences from this and Star Tropics. Star Tropics 1 is Mike has unlocked eight directional movement. So he's just gliding all over the place. And also, we're gonna do a fairly important little skip here.
Yep, it is.
There we go. All right, what you just saw there is called void walking, aptly named because you end up walking on void spaces where Mike is supposed to fall into the water or a hole or something. What's happening there is that we're setting up a buffered strat so that we take damage on the exact moment that Mike is going to fall into the water. And what that does is the game prioritizes dealing damage to Mike instead of falling into the water. And then since Mike didn't fall into the water, the game just thinks that we landed on solid ground, and then we're able to like walk around on the water, which allows us to make jumps that Mike wouldn't normally be able to make because
Yep.
he's closer to the ledges. Mike can't jump over a two space gap, similarly to Star Tropics 1.
Yeah.
But using the Void Walk, we can do that. So we'll see that
Yeah.
take part or play a role later on in the run as well. couple of places.
Of course, the snowman would duck back and go in the way.
Yes.
Yeah, so you'll soon find out that Star Tropics 2 just kind of exemplifies the fact that I'm unable to count. For some reason, I have trouble counting hits in this game. And like those gold bears I fought a while ago, they take 8 hits, and I keep thinking that I've done 8 hits. And then they survive and get an extra swipe in. It's scary stuff.
We'll see if we get the. We got a frame perfect trick coming up here.
Yeah, I'll see if I can get it.
BugDr's able to pull it off.
I might grunt while I'm trying to pull it off. We'll see. No, didn't get it.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
That's all right. You can skip
all
some.
All that grunting for nothing.
You can skip some dialogue there, but it's fine. You're talking about not being able to count before. It's kind of important to note in this game that there's still buffering in this game, just like there is in Star Tropics 1. I'll just to quick go over that again. Yeah, you essentially once you put in a second input during the animation of the first, it's going to throw that second animation on the first possible frame. So you can chain your attacks together. The difference between Star Tropics 2 and 1 is that the attack duration on your main weapon, in this case the axe, doesn't change based on how close an enemy is to you. So you're always going to be attacking at the same rate of speed for your buffers. So whereas in Star Tropics 1 you could benefit from getting really close to an enemy and attacking it really quickly, that doesn't really benefit you in Star Tropics 2, and the buffer rate is always going to be the same.
Yeah. I disappointed Dave with the I missed the dialogue skip, and now Dave's crying. I upset him.
No, I hope Dave's going to be okay.
I'm sure he'll recover.
So you'll notice at the end of that chapter, there was a heart refill. At the end of every chapter, it fills your health all the way up. So it's super important that we don't take much damage in the chapters. We want to end as close to full health at the end of every dungeon and chapter, if possible.
Yeah. This game really punishes you for not having full health, because it's like, oh, you lose weapon strength, and also you got to wait for forever for the refills.
It's like a second for every full heart. So it really adds up, especially near the end of the game when you have 20 hearts.
Yeah.
So the basis of the story is essentially there's this magic cipher that we read at the beginning of the game that made this book travel us through time and space.
Yeah. I would say launch us through time and space.
Yeah. So right now we're in ancient Egypt. And we just had to talk to a bunch of villagers on Cleopatra's ship because we have to get her a pizza. She ordered a pizza a few days ago and it hasn't arrived, so we have to go and find out what the heck's going on.
Now she's angry.
Yes. So there's going to be a jump coming up here in one of these next rooms where we're going to show off what's called corner jumping. It's another cool movement tech that's only possible in Star Tropics 2. I'm not going to screw it up. It's going to be fine. It's going to be great. These guys suck.
Good God. They're swinging.
Look at them coming at you. I'm going to get you, Mike.
Gonna stab you, kid.
Shake you.
Yeah, boys.
So you'll because Bug has the ability to move diagonally in Star Tropics 2, it actually benefits the player to move diagonally because it will take pretty much twice as long to move left and then up instead of just diagonally. And Bug just got the corner jump there while I was rambling.
Jabbing away.
Gabbing away, talking about the game.
Doing your job.
I'll talk about what corner jumping is a little bit more after this boss fight. But here's the first the boss fight of this chapter. The Scorpion Queen. Essentially, you just want to attack the Scorpion Queen as much as you can, but these little scorpion babies will come and try to attack you as well. If you kill the babies, the Scorpion Queen gets really mad and she attacks viciously with those projectiles. If you don't touch the babies at all, she won't attack you with those projectiles, but they can become a nuisance really, really fast.
Yeah, that was an annoying pattern. I was kind of getting cornered there.
Yeah,
oh well, it is what it is.
That's it. That's
they say.
Dungeon. The corner jumping. Essentially, what you're trying to do is, when Mike walks up to the corner of a wall, from down to up, if you're far enough to the right of that corner, the game will sort of push Mike over to the right if it's a right facing corner.
Yeah.
So what we do is in midair during a jump, if you can get yourself to a wall where there's a corner and move up into that corner, the game will just automatically push Mike a few frames over to the right, which can extend his jump by just enough pixels that we can make certain two tile gaps, or make jumps over two tile gaps that we wouldn't normally be able to make.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it usually means that you're putting yourself in danger of death, because if you don't get the corner jump, you fall into a pit and die.
You're dead. Yeah.
So they're usually pretty dangerous, but Bug's a professional. So
well, I don't know about that, but there's another one coming up in the next chapter where we can. It kind of shows it better. I think it's easier to see on the London corner jump as opposed to this one, because it's like you're barely pressing it up in this one, whereas in London you hold it basically.
Right.
It makes it a little bit more visible. But yeah, good explanation. You did a good job.
Well, thank you.
That's why I got 0 counts in on this, because I was like, I know that guy's going to do a good job.
I expect a full paycheck this time.
Well, we'll talk about that later.
Oh, okay. All right. All right. So you delivered the pizza to Cleopatra, and she just nommed away at it. And
ate the whole thing.
Just nom.
Yeah.
And she actually awards you with an upgraded weapon. She gives you a throwing dagger.
Yeah.
You can actually get the dagger earlier from the Jack of all trades before the dungeon.
I forgot that was what
finished.
it's called.
Yeah,
I forgot that was his name.
But it actually doesn't save time. I think it's pretty close, but
it's close, but not worth it enough.
Yeah.
It doesn't do enough damage over the axe to make it worth going to get.
Right.
Which kind of sucks, but whatever.
Yeah. No, it's cool to note if it's some weird secret. So all right. So now we're in this weird grass maze. Essentially, we're trying to go and find this monkey that's going to give us special powers. Look, I didn't write the story to this game. I don't
You got what Uncle Steve's on.
Yeah. There's a monkey. It's going to give us psychic powers, so we got to go find him. But we have to get through this grass maze first. And there's a couple little pitfalls that drop us into these places with super awesome music. Just jamming.
They do have really good music. The whole
jamming with hippos and swans.
Yeah. Entire soundtrack to this game is honestly really, really good.
No, it's really awesome.
Yeah. Makes me smile.
So this what you're supposed to do here casually is you get up on those little platforms, and when you're up on the platforms, you can see where you can walk in the grass. It's kind of like a giant hedge maze.
Yeah, take that.
But for the speed run, we kind of memorize generally where the turns are supposed to be.
Yeah.
And just kind of feel our way through the maze as best we can.
I have not bonked yet. I would just like to say I've not bonked on a maze wall yet. But
it's pretty impressive.
It's going to happen in the third field though. So
well, because you said something.
Yeah. No, I just legit do not know the layout of the third one. Haven't even put the work in. I just kind of bonk and hope. I know like the kind of last part of it, but the first part is like,
There's the monkey just hopping around, taunting us.
see, bonking
I
there.
don't know what it is with video games and like catching monkeys. You got
I know.
what?
Kiki.
Yeah, you got the monkey in Mario 64 and
Yeah.
the monkey in whatever that's a Link to the Past, that Zelda game.
Yeah. Give me 100 rupees. Shut up, Kiki.
All right, there we
that's
go.
the hedge maze. Good.
Through the hedge maze. All right, here we are. This is the monkey. The monkey gives us a special ability to use psychic powers to shoot like little electric shock waves. I don't know. That's what monkeys do, right?
Yes. I mean, I've met monkeys before, and that's what they've done. They've given people powers.
I should find a monkey. We
should.
need that. We need that psychic shockwave to get through that that entrance to that pyramid there. And the psychic shockwave is like a secondary weapon. It has it does or attacks faster than our throwing weapon does, so it becomes beneficial in a lot of situations. There are certain enemies that can only be attacked using the psychic shockwave, and some enemies that can only be right. Yeah, you cannot throw the dagger at these enemies. It won't. Well, you can, but it won't do any damage to them.
Yeah, you can. You're just wasting your time.
Yes.
Right.
In the next room, we're gonna come across some a new tile set here. These little, or not this room, but this room coming up soon. Here it is. These little arrow tiles. Just like in many video games, the little arrows, you step on those arrows and it'll push you in that direction.
Just freaking out for no reason. Get out of my way. Oh, I missed him.
Oh, shoot. Yeah, these enemies, when you attack them, they just like fall into a pile of bones. So if you can attack them before you get anywhere near them, you can sort of plan your path so you don't take any damage. But I don't know, sometimes they can be real jerks. These little ladybug enemy things are kind of like the dodos in Star Tropics 1, where if they see you, they'll start charging towards you. So you can kind of use that to your advantage. These little pharaoh enemies just take a lot of hits. All right, we got this room filled with spikes and arrows. If you are to
taking hits.
if on tiles, on most tiles in this game, if you were to try to like walk off the edge, the game prevents Mike from doing that.
Oh.
Like it'll basically be like a wall, an invisible wall that it won't allow Mike to just walk off of an edge. You can jump off of the edge, but you can't walk off of it. I believe that that's not the case when it comes to like arrows. Like if you're walking in the direction that the arrow is pointing, you will walk off of that edge.
That is true.
So you want to be careful with those arrow tiles, especially in that room with the spiders. So we're going to grab a magic item called the flute. In this chest up here, we'll need this to solve a puzzle in a previous room. Oh my gosh, these little mummies.
I'm just gonna, you know what? I'm just gonna use this now to save all of your ears, because the low health beep in this game sucks.
Yeah, low health beeps were a thing back then, and this one definitely had the worst of them.
Sorry, photosensitivity. I totally said that too late, but I always forget about that kind of stuff in this game.
I decided to cough instead of warn people about photosensitivity, so I got my priorities straight, I suppose.
Yes.
So yes, we just used that flute to make those snakes appear, and then to feed the snakes to get through the room. We're coming up to the boss of this dungeon here. This is the monster mask. Hopefully we get a good pattern here with the mask.
Ooh! Oh,
there it is. Oh gosh,
it was just a little too far. Four hearts of damage from that.
Yeah, you don't want to get hit by that beam. Does a whole lot of damage, and like we talked about earlier, now we have to wait for those hearts to get
refilled. I done goofed.
Unfortunately,
done goofed it. I thought, yeah, it's just I guess I was just a pixel over or something like that and got blasted, but it's alright. We're through. It's all matters.
All good.
Just so like in Star Tropics 1, Chapter 3 is kind of one of the tougher and longer ones.
Mm-hmm.
So
we just picked up another tetrad. You'll notice that at the end of most of these chapters, we're picking up these little blocks that seem to resemble blocks from a certain puzzle game that people might be familiar with.
Right? Dr. Mario?
Dr. Mario.
Yeah.
Yep, they look
Those
exactly
are Dr. Mario
like
blocks.
the blocks from Dr. Mario.
Yeah.
And I don't know, just like many things in this game, it doesn't really tell you why, but we're picking these things up and pocketing them for later on our travel through time and space.
Yeah, earlier on, Mika mentions that they're the legacy of the Argonians. Yes. But that's kind of all she says, I think. If I remember right, it's like, what does that mean?
Right. All right, so now we've traveled forward through time to jolly old London. Here we are. See, we got Pip Pip Sherlock Holmes. Pip Pip Cheerio. All right. I've had my fun.
Yes.
You can pet the dogs, but BugDr's not going to pet the dogs because
I'll pet one dog. I'll pet the one that's on the way.
Okay. Here we go. Let's pet the dog. Pet the dog. Hype.
There he is. There you go. It's not really.
Oh, wow.
You kind of just talk with it, but it's basically a pet.
Oh,
you're thrown in jail.
The museum. You gotta go to jail, Mike. So you're walking around at night in London, and the police don't like that, so they throw you in the brig,
in the slammer. Put this kid in the slammer.
Mike's a resourceful kid, and he escapes immediately.
Walks through the wall
and meets Sherlock Holmes in the museum, where they're going to collect the third tetrad. But wait!
Oh no!
Oh my goodness! It's
I
Zoda.
Can't believe it.
He's back
in pog form.
Yes, in pog form. This Zoda X has stolen one of the tetrads, so we have to obviously go rummaging through the sewer to find him. Because where else is Zoda gonna hang out? But
very off to
dingy, dank sewers of London. All right, so we
have
a
corner
jump coming up here, so you'll see.
There you go, just like that.
There you go. You'll notice it. Yeah, pushed up against that corner, and the game sort of pushed him a few frames to the right, so he can make that jump.
Now you can wave goodbye to the first half of the dungeon, basically.
Yeah, it cuts out a really large portion of this dungeon. A portion of the dungeon that I honestly don't remember what's over there. I don't remember what, because it's been a long time since I played the game casually.
It's been 80 years.
All right. Yeah, a lot of these rooms have really cool setups where, as long as the enemy RNG works out, you can sort of attack in the right spots, and the enemies will sort of just walk into your attacks. But it's a lot of it's RNG dependent. And all right, here's the boss of this dungeon. This is going to be a bunch of buffered hits. Make sure that we don't throw too many hits because you will sink into those brick tiles. But it is 16 hits, and you can jump and land on the button that lets you get through. And this makes me laugh. Zoda just skittering away. Like, All right, so Zoda
They'll never
runs
get
away
past
and,
my spawn ball. Oh, jeez.
and then he leaves little footprints. Look at that.
Yeah. But yeah, something to note is that boss is one of the only ones that does like it just kills you on contact because you need to basically trigger the switch underneath it to open the door.
Right.
And they thought of that, so they made it so that it does like full damage when you run into it. So
right, yeah,
it's one of the few.
They didn't want future speedrunners to exploit hitting the switch before defeating the boss.
Yeah, exactly.
Bunch of jerks.
Wait for me. Get away from me. Aggressive owls, just like in real life.
Right. Yes. Have a lot of run-ins with owls.
Yeah.
All right, so these little rafts are kind of a pain in the butt because you can actually walk off the edges of rafts, whereas you can't really walk off at pretty much any other tile in the game. So it's really important that you don't walk too far off of the edge of the raft, or you will die instantly.
And the kind of collision on it is really misleading.
Right.
Like you can be kind of half on the raft and you'll still fall off it. It's honestly like really scary.
This doesn't prevent BugDr from inching towards the edge of the raft every single time he gets on one. And
you need to live life dangerously.
Making me clench up every time. Look at that. Oh, God. The number of times I've died on this screen
like this?
Just because I walked off the...
It's actually useful to face a different way than where you're going to walk or where you're going to jump off the raft because it delays you a frame while Mike turns so that you can kind of guarantee that you're going to stay in place.
Yep.
This disc, by the way, is super strong. It's like one of the best sub weapons in the game. So
yeah, we're gonna be
just use it like mad.
We're gonna be using it on the boss here to hopefully make quick work.
Yeah, hopefully get a one cycle.
That's what we're gunning for here.
But it won't happen. No way. No way it'll happen.
That's the right spirit. Here we go.
Oh, maybe.
Oh, look at that. Oh, here we go. Giving us the Nixon.
See you, jerk. Oh, baby, one cycle.
Oh, cycle, let's go. See, there you go, kids. Set your goals low, and then you'll always succeed.
Yes. I'll never PB on this marathon run. It certainly won't happen. Is that how it works? If I just say, oh, it'll never happen, then it'll happen?
That's exactly it. That's right. Bye, nerd. Alright, so we've taken care of Zoda X, and now we have collected the third tetrad. Oh, excuse me, third Dr. Mario piece.
Yes, the third mega vitamin. Blah blah tetrads, blah blah Zoda X.
Hurry, Mike. We have to go, and Zoda is still alive in other times and space.
Yeah. What's he doing with that book?
All right, so now...
Yeah, pretty good. This is pretty good pace so far, honestly. I kind of wish I had my splits up, but I don't. So that's just... We're just going to hope.
Who knows? Who knows?
What's going well?
All right, so now we have found ourselves in the old gold rush era.
Yeah.
Cactuses everywhere. We're gonna go into this little western town, and there's a bunch of people really excited about gold.
Oh boy. I struck gold! Someone in chat is asking if they changed it to Dr. Mario pills in re-releases, and no, they didn't. They switched the name to a block,
yes,
rather than a tetrad.
Yep.
Yeah, they're always Tetris blocks, but yeah, we're just messing around. Although I kind of wish that they switched it to Mega Vitamins. It'd be kind of funny.
Yeah, that'd been funny.
Follow the space drugs theme.
Yeah, at the time Nintendo had rights to using the Tetris naming and such, but they have since lost those rights, and so they had to
Yeah.
update it.
Yeah.
It's also, I guess, interesting to note in Star Tropics 1, they couldn't use the word yo-yo in the re-releases on re-releases for like the Wii and Virtual Console and stuff. So they don't call it a yo-yo; they call it a star.
Yeah. Luckily,
so
we
just
got some dynamite for free from a careless shopkeeper and blew up a wall.
Yep, just
Normal.
handing out dynamite to kids, blowing up the walls here to get to the next dungeon. You can also find other things in some of those in other places. If you bombed in different places, like there's a chicken nugget hiding in one of the caves.
Yeah,
so
there's
inclined.
a heart, some gold.
Alright, so we got these giant boulders here. They can do a heck of a lot of damage to you if you run into them. You don't want to do that. These enemies here, these little cactus dudes, will shoot some projectiles at you after they die. So you want to get the heck out of there after you kill them.
Yeah, those cactus dudes are real pricks.
Dang it. So casually, you don't want to attack these chest enemies, treasure chest enemies with the dagger, because they will turn into those coins. If you attack them with the psychic shockwave, that doesn't happen. But we attack them with the dagger, and make them turn into coins, because the coins move faster, and then we can ultimately kill them faster. That was the boss. He's dead now.
He's just dead. There's a skip you can do. You can do a void walk in that boss to skip him entirely, but I don't have it off by heart, and it is not marathon safe. So I didn't even put effort into it. Which is kind of just how I work. Not putting effort into things.
Let's see, Shawnee in chat says, "Oh hey, it's the coins Zero Counts asked me to ask BugDr about. Does this game have enemy RNG?"
Those coins are so awful. God. Hope you are all ready for the best jam in the game.
Oh yeah, this is good. This is also a fairly difficult dungeon. Got some really annoying mid-boss in here. So
yup.
Grabbing the posh, little backup posh.
Oh. You might say this dungeon is a run killer.
Not this one though. We'll make it.
Okay, I trust you.
I think so.
If we don't, now I can just blame you. So that's good.
We're coming up to some of your favorite enemies again. Here, those chests.
Ah!
There we go.
Not money.
That was good.
Yeah, it went okay. That one's usually all right, but the one before you have the super psychic shockwave is just terrible room.
We're gonna use these tiles. Oh yeah, we got an upgrade to the shockwave. I forgot about that. Yeah, so we found a donkey that gave us an upgrade to our magical shockwave ability. So now the shockwave does twice as much damage and also travels farther on the screen. You need at least 5 hearts to use it, though.
At least, yes. Thank God.
There we go. Get wrecked. That little minecart boss is. I mean, there's a lot of RNG involved. It spits out those little gold mini enemies at you. And yeah, it's a run killer for sure.
Yeah, that minecart is very stressful.
Earlier in this dungeon, Bug picked up a big star item, which just like in a lot of other games, causes invincibility. So we're gonna use that invincibility to kind of hopefully make this next boss fight quicker. This is the Mad Miner. There's all these little boulders walking around, and he jumps around and attacks attacks you and swings his hammer and freezes you in place. But if you use the invincibility star, you can just sort of attack him super
Spam
quick.
him. Spam him to death.
That was pretty good.
Yeah.
Mad Miner.
Yeah, he behaved pretty well, honestly. He didn't really jump around that much. You were like, oh yeah, he just kind of jumps around, and then he just kind of kept walking instead. And I was like, oh, okay, well, you're just immediately proving 0 counts wrong. He's just like, I heard that. I heard what you said about me. Now I'm gonna walk.
I would like to point out that in my notes for this for this dungeon, I put minecart mid boss the worst, Mad Miner not as bad but still awful.
It's true. Yeah, the only reason he's tolerable is because you have that star for him. I mean, you can not get the star and save some time potentially,
right.
But it's a brutal. It's not an easy boss.
Yeah, there's also there's a second star you can pick up before the boss too, so it's possible you can use a invincibility star on the minecart, and then also a invincibility star on the Mad Miner if you're so inclined. But obviously that takes more time.
Yes.
All right, so here we are in the Italian Renaissance. We're gonna pay a visit. Why can't I remember the guy's name?
Leonardo.
Thank you, Leonardo da Vinci.
The lead turtle.
The lead turtle of the Ninja Turtles, Leonardo da Vinci, not DiCaprio, you know.
No.
The other famous Leonardo. So we walk past this weird statue thing, and it's like, help me. We're getting another void walk here. Nice. Nailed it. A little buffer strat here to get underneath these giant black balls.
Yeah.
And
turns out Leonardo really liked balls.
Yeah.
So
I don't know what it is.
There's a lot of balls in his basement.
Leonardo and giant iron black balls in his basement, but well, here we are. We're gonna jump over these weird. I don't know, like what's he doing with in his basement?
I don't know, and he has to go through this every time he wants to go get plastered.
You're right.
Like, you know.
Here we go. This is BugDr's favorite part of the game.
Balls.
These ball puzzles. You have to attack these balls and have them drop into the hole there. It's not a pain in the butt at all.
No, it's great.
What? How did that not go in there?
I don't know. Oh. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I mean,
whatever. Good enough.
Those balls move so fast, and like the window to attack them is so small that, like, I don't know, one small misstep and just a huge time sink.
Yeah, and they're annoying because like obviously when you shoot them they change direction, but if they're moving right and you hit them, they switch to down, but if they're moving left and you hit them, they move up, and it's just if it gets out of hand, if the balls get out of hand, then it's a real pain to get the balls back on track.
We just picked up a hammer and chisel, and we're gonna carefully free Leonardo da Vinci from his plaster trap here.
Yeah, he's got a bit of a boo-boo, but
yeah.
Right.
That was Mike's first hit. He's kind of gauging how hard he's supposed to hit the chisel.
Just slam the hammer down. Ah!
Dang it, Mike! Not so hard. All right, and because you saved Leonardo da Vinci, he is going to change art as we know it, and change the hairstyle on the Mona Lisa.
Yeah. No repercussions, I'm sure.
Right. And he also allows us to use his magical, mechanical flying machine.
Could be magic, for all we know.
It could be magic. Who knows? Yeah.
He does have floating sentient balls in his basement. So
it's true. And then we take this flying machine onto this little island. We take a break on this island, and then we just get right back on. You're supposed to casually. You're supposed to go and grab a heart on that island, but we don't need it.
Nah, we're out of here.
Just like in Star Tropics 1, the game rewards us with those hearts later on if we didn't.
Yeah,
grab them,
exactly.
So it's fine. All right. So this castle here, we have to be careful because there's a lot of pits in the floor that can take us to random dungeon rooms. Some of them are unavoidable, as we'll see coming up. But there's a certain pattern that you need to walk on the floor to make sure that you don't fall into the ones that are skippable. This first one that we're gonna fall into, it's random what room it's gonna send us to.
Yeah.
And hopefully, not
good
the
one.
worst. Not the worst.
The worst one is a significant time loss. But
Yes.
this sounds pretty good.
There's 4 different rooms you can drop into. One of them is significantly longer than the others. The other 3 are fairly comparable in terms of length. But...
So grab that.
And then that's the last dungeon in this chapter. As long as Bug doesn't fall into a pit. It's presumably the last dungeon of this chapter.
Presumably, yes. We're good. We're clear. Good.
We got some
I
soda
kind
fountains there on the floor.
Went out of my way to get that heart, which to save a second on the refill, I feel like it probably cost me half a second to go and get the heart. So it won't.
I think it was worth it.
And then I'm saving too much time. Probably worth it. Yeah. Oh, photosensitivity. There's more of it. I'm sorry. I keep forgetting. I always forget about it.
I was going to warn them, and then you were just gabbing away.
Sorry, scabbing. Yeah, that's what I do. There's more.
We see another ghostly figure of Zoda appear, and Mike is immediately like, "Oh, it's Zoda! Why?" Like as if he knows.
This is radical.
Who that is?
Yeah, it just makes up the name for him. It's Zoda Y. Actually, my name's George. Shut up, Zoda Y.
Yes, George, the boss of Chapter 7.
Yeah, Zoda's twin brother, George.
Okay, so this is they just teleported us back to Transylvania, and we're gonna go into this like haunted house here.
This cozy looking mansion.
Yeah, I mean it's a totally normal mansion that's not.
Yeah, it looks
filled
nice.
With,
a couple
filled
crates
with wretched monsters and ghosts.
Oh God! Hey!
These are one of my favorite enemies in the game because they look like normal like Frankenstein monsters, except you attack them and then they turn into pants and then just run around.
Turn into pants.
Yep. So these enemies here, these ghosts in this next room, where are they? There they are. You have to attack the pink ghost in order to make your way through that room. This ghost here is just like the Dark Nuts in The Legend of Zelda. You can really only attack him from the front or the sides.
Yeah, you gotta hit the grave.
Sorry, the back or the I guess the Dark Nuts you have to attack from behind or the sides, but this one you can attack from the front. All right, we're grabbing one of the cooler sub weapons in the game. This is the
that's a good one.
The tri-shot or triple shot. It's like a spread weapon. So we can use this to our advantage to attack multiple enemies at once in certain situations, as long as the RNG works in our favor. It's always a factor.
Yeah.
This enemy, we kind of want to deal with as quickly as possible because he drops these weird like bombs and they explode in really obnoxious patterns.
Yeah, they're really, very annoying enemies.
Really wide range of attack too.
Speaking of annoying enemies,
this game is these. This guy drops these like crystal balls, and if you attack the crystal ball, it'll shoot towards you. Whoa, he is really coming up at you.
Aggressive.
Wow.
Nobody just sits in the corner and cries and hides behind his
the
wall. I
game-
guess we're not getting those hearts.
You know, the game got word that this is for a marathon, and it turned up. It's been practicing, you know, in the background.
Yeah.
Another one of these
That was pretty good.
jerks.
Actually.
Oh yeah, look at that. You saw him coming up at you. I thought it was gonna nail you, but we're good. The game does provide the player with a lot of like backup health and stuff, which is really
Yeah, it
nice,
does.
especially for casual runs. Star Tropics, I feel like didn't have as much in terms of backup health.
That's it's a little bit like trickier to get, I find.
Right. Kind of have to go out of your way in Star Tropics 1, whereas this one is it's a little bit.
Yeah, there's a lot kind of on the path, just if you check blocks and stuff.
All right, so that was the boss of this dungeon. Oh no, it isn't! Oh my gosh, this is another form.
Whoa. You got him.
He just turned into this weird owl bird creature. He's gonna throw feathers at us, which apparently do damage to Mike.
Yes.
That was good.
Ow,
Good
feathers. Ow. They like tickle him. Like, it tickles.
Oh my
And
gosh.
it hurts him. Oh my goodness, I'm so ticklish.
Use the potion before we get to the end here, because the potion refill is much faster than the end of chapter refill, so save a little time there.
Yeah. I think it's only worth it if you use the potion. If you have 2 hearts missing, then it's not worth it. So with 3, it's like borderline worth it to use the potion.
We just picked up our 6th tetrad.
Yeah. One left.
Got one more to go. We're back into the book. And the book sends us to Camelot.
Yep. Yeah, that 7 was honestly pretty good, but like the enemies just kind of behave pretty well, especially those like the green, like explosive throwing things. But
Right. The bats, honestly, were given the most trouble.
yeah, I live for the day that I get a 3 with a 3-way shot. I get 3 bats with one throw. It hasn't happened yet, but I was hoping maybe marathon luck would come in.
I can only imagine. Mike jumping over that little ravine there.
Yeah.
Right over.
Oops.
Right, before we go into the dungeon here, well, Mike doesn't even know that there's a dungeon, but we go and we talk to King Arthur, and shout outs to King Arthur.
Yeah.
And he knights us, gives us an extra heart.
Single heart.
Single
Love how he's
heart.
just like, there's this terrible, mean dragon. Can you just go kill it? And it's like, those are the words used to describe this dragon. Oh, it's terrible and mean.
He called me names.
Yeah.
He's a real jerk.
He called me Barfer.
Barfer. King Barfer. All right, so we're gonna go find this evil name-calling dragon in the dungeon or the caves behind Camelot. So this room is fairly interesting because you have to, and there's another one coming up here where you have to defeat the enemies on the screen, and then the room will like drop you into a pit. What is he doing?
Being a jerk.
What? So you want to be in the middle of this path when you just defeat this guy, because otherwise you'll drop onto these spikes. There you go. All right. These are some of the worst enemies in the game. Not necessarily this type, but we'll see a gold version later of those knights, which, well,
Awful.
they're awful, terrible.
Yeah.
We're gonna take a little bit of a damage boost going through here because there's some hearts up ahead that we can take.
Yep.
Or maybe, yep.
It's this one. Boink.
Bloop.
Just kind of split Mike in half right there.
All right, this enemy here, the Knight Rider. this setup is a lot trickier than it looks. Essentially, what you're trying to do is you're trying to set up your jump so that you can reach the knight with using your swords here.
Well, there it is. I just missed that last hit, and then it went off the rails. Oh well.
Yeah, he's
or off
just
the
far
hoop.
enough away. Just far enough away that you can't really reach him very easily with your weapons. So you have to kind of set it up so when you throw it, it's gonna hit him, and you have to sort of lead your attacks as well. It's really tough. When you get it, it can make really quick work of the boss. But even if you're like a few pixels off, it's gonna add a lot of time to your boss fight.
Yeah.
So we just found that all those animals before that were giving us magic powers, like the monkey and the donkey, are actually Merlin.
Merlin, yeah.
In disguise.
Hi, I'm Merlin, and I'm actually several animals.
Right, and he's been giving us all these magic powers. Casually, you would have already seen Merlin, because Merlin actually appears on the game over screen.
Yes.
Which I always imagine is just really confusing as to why Merlin shows up on
why there's still a wizard there
screen.
for no fucking reason.
Yeah. But it becomes clear here near the end of the game, like that Merlin has been assisting us.
Pulling the strings. He's a bad guy.
Yeah. Spoilers.
Merlin is Zoda.
Hashtag not my Merlin. All right. This is the last dungeon of Chapter 8. We got a lot of these knights that we have to deal with. Fortunately, those knights aren't as hard to deal with because we can attack them from any direction. There is a gold knight that will be showing up later that you can only attack from behind or the sides, similar to the dark nuts. And it's all RNG based, so we don't know where they're going to end up. Hopefully they cooperate. Stupid slimes here.
Yeah.
With those. There's a lot of just enemy RNG that you have to deal with in this dungeon. Like, you really just hope and pray that the enemies just behave and walk in the path of your weapon. And it's
a big dungeon too, so all that behavior adds up.
Yeah, it honestly doesn't even matter like how well you play it. Sometimes, like sometimes the enemies just go off wherever they please.
Yeah. They choose not to expose their weak points.
All right, here's the gold knight that we were talking about. So he has this shield, huge shield on the front, and honestly, I just noticed this now that like the shield is just sort of strapped to their chest.
Yeah, they don't even hold it. It's just there.
Doesn't even have a weapon. He's just walking around.
Tape it on. Shield tape.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Getting here without any damage taken is pretty impressive.
Skull. Yeah, actually, it's been going well.
Normally,
aside from that stupid Knight Rider taking forever.
Normally, there's some health that you have to usually pick up midway through this dungeon, but Bug did not need it.
Rockies returning from Star Tropics 1.
Yes, they lost their ability to teleport though, and they just kind of like slump around.
Just kind of walk around. Man, I hate walking. Wish I could teleport again.
I
was hoping.
Shot off. Oh, maybe not.
I was just hoping to get him before he got. Yeah.
Yeah, that was close.
Instead, I was the one who got.
All right, we got the boss coming up in the next room here, so we want to.
I'm getting surrounded.
Oh my god! Oh no!
Being too aggressive.
Slimes, oh my goodness.
My own fault. Normally I stick back a little bit, but I chose to be aggressive for some reason.
Now, something I didn't talk about earlier is that there's also like a Z-axis in this game that comes into play, and some enemies can or have hitboxes that are above the level of the field, like this boss here, this dragon, who decided not to spit any fire at you, which is pretty interesting.
There it is.
There it is. There you go. You actually have to jump up to reach the hitbox while the dragon is walking towards you.
Very bad job of shooting, messing up my shooting timing. You can normally get like 3 shots in per jump, but I was hitting it at the wrong time, so a lot of the attacks were colliding with his body.
And it's a real awkward pattern too, like the jump in 3 attacks. Like it just
it is
feel natural. And
something interesting is that you can't actually buffer when you're jumping and attacking. You can't buffer your attacks when you're mid jump. It's you have to actually time it, for whatever reason. But yeah. Anyway, you can have a nap while my health refills here.
Yes, it's a common point in the run where you have to wait for a long refill here at the end. Of this one.
Oh.
But yeah, that's that Z-axis is also part of the reason why those slimes can be such a pain, because when they're jumping, you can't attack them from the ground, and when they're jumping, you know, or when they're on the ground, you can't jump and hit them. So you have to not only fire in the right direction, but be in the right plane. So it can be a pain in the butt. Yeah,
they're definitely annoying if they get away. Like there's some that are slow and they're not really that bad, but these later ones that jump around quicker, they're definitely an annoyance if they get out of hand. A lot of annoying enemies in that. Like Chapter 8 is just a huge determiner of run outcome, honestly.
Absolutely. All right, here we come. We're coming to the last chapter of the game. This is Chapter 9. And if you were here for the Star Tropics 1 run, you may see that this looks a little familiar.
Yeah,
we are back on Sea Island.
Pigs!
Except this is a little different. All of the villagers have been turned into pigs, except for this guy.
They're all piggy.
Who was off fishing.
Yeah.
While everybody got turned into pigs. This is when we find out that Zoda has turned all of the villagers into pigs, and he plans to open up a barbecue joint by barbecuing all of the villagers. That's totally true, and not something I just came up with last week.
Certainly not a bit or anything.
No, not at all. So this is a close but not entirely accurate visit of the dungeon the first dungeon from Star Tropics 1. There are a couple rooms that have been removed, but a lot of the enemies are the same. They're just the Star Tropics 2 version of the radish and the jellies.
Yeah, and the bats.
Some of the solutions to the rooms are the same as well. Some of them are a little different, but it's a cool little tribute to the first game, and the music is also a different rendition, of Star Tropics 2 rendition of the
what they call
Star
a bot
Tropics
these
1.
days.
Yeah. So we're gonna revisit Sea Serpent here as well, although he's not looking too good. And also, just like we skipped Sea Serpent.
Fucked it up.
Oh no!
That's the first time that I've messed that up since coming back.
Just like in Star Tropics 1, you can skip Sea Serpent in Star Tropics 2. It requires a void walk though. And although some people would tell me that the void walk is easy, sometimes it can be a real pain in the butt and just not work for whatever reason.
Well, guess what? Now we're getting Sea Serpent DLC.
That's right.
Because I don't think I have enough health to just get through now.
Yeah, it might be tough. We can we're gonna fight Sea Serpent here.
He's gonna get his time to shine.
Yes. You know, like I said, the game knows that this is a marathon.
Yeah. Not terribly. There's definitely safe spots during this boss you can just kind of take advantage of.
it's a pretty cool. I mean, the fact that it's revisiting this dungeon and even
It is
like
really
goes to
cool.
the extent of because when you defeat Sea Serpent, he turns into Bones in the first game, and now he's still Bones in this one. It's a real cool
Yeah.
nod. You can tell that the developers really had a passion for the series, and then Nintendo just ripped it away from them.
Yep. Gone.
Okay, so now that we've defeated Sea Serpent,
Which is weird to
There's-
say. And now that we've fought Sea Serpent.
it's very strange, but yes, we fought Sea Serpent. We're going to be moving on to the back half of this dungeon, which is a little ominous. Everything turns turns black and white, and we find out that we're going to do some refights. That classic NES trope.
Yeah.
Boss refights. So we got Yum Yum here, already in
Yum
attack
Yum gets to
mode.
do
No
things.
time for snacks. No time for snacks. He's just going after you.
Yeah.
And then we have the refight here with the Scorpion Queen.
You just stand in place and shoot.
So there is a fairly significant boss skip that's coming up here, in the end of the or near the end of the boss refights. That's going to involve a very specific setup, some buffering, ending with a void walk. That is going to be during the Zoda Y refight, which is going to be a couple boss fights after this.
Yeah.
But essentially what's going to happen is we're going to do a void walk over to the platform that Zoda Y is walking around on, which you normally shouldn't be able to reach. And what that's going to allow us to do is, one, it's going to allow us to defeat Zoda Y much faster, because you're right up close and personal with Zoda Y. But more importantly, it allows us to fall through the floor in a spot where we're not normally supposed to fall through the floor. And that kind of messes with the game's, with the way the game like recognizes exits and things.
Yes.
So it creates this weird void that we're walking on top of during the dragon refight, and allows us to exit on a tile that isn't normally an exit. So
Just
this,
gotta focus
this is
on
all.
it.
Yeah, we're just gonna focus here. All right, we're on the other side.
Jump at me.
The void walk is done, and now we just need to defeat Zoda. And of course, he's gonna be a real jerk about it.
There we go.
All right, and now we're gonna fall on the left
Yeah.
side of the screen here. And now we're on
Alrighty.
this weird void, and there's the exit.
Yeah.
All right.
And that's
Wow, you've done it.
That's basically a game.
So we skipped a good portion.
I'll take you with me.
Skip the we skipped the dragon refight, and there's also a fight with the true final boss, which is Zoda Z. That fight is there's two forms, and it's well, here comes time, by the way.
There it is.
And
Yeah.
that's time.
249.
And yeah, the Zoda Z fight is really kind of cool. It's got some awesome music, and Zoda's turns into a giant alien, and it's a cool fight. But you're not going to see it in this run. So
Yeah.
play the game
exactly.
casually. Find the game, play it. Everybody should play more Star Tropics.
Absolutely. We got photosensitivity coming up, just so you know. Yeah, solid run, honestly, except for chapter 8, and obviously the mess up the void walk on Sea Serpent. I don't know. Maybe you can pull it off when you have that much health, but I honestly don't remember. So I just didn't want to risk it.
Yeah, I think that was. Hey, it's good to see a Sea Serpent get a time to shine.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And so there it is, photosensitivity. There's more of it too.
So much.
If if you like these games and you want to learn to run them, then yeah, there is a Star Tropics Discord, and strongly recommend you check it out if that's the kind of thing that you're looking to run, because it's a super fun game. Well, both games are awesome to run, and the community's been awesome ever since I got into it. Everyone's helpful. There's lots of resources and everything. So, yeah. And just if you haven't played Star Tropics, play Star Tropics 1, 2. Play them both. It's interesting how similar yet different Star Tropics 2 is. It does feel like fresh while also being similar, which is pretty interesting.
It's not super clear which. Some people love Star Tropics 2 more. Some people love Star Tropics 1 more.
Yeah,
they're both really great games.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I guess with that we'll sign off. That's it for Star Tropics Duology. It's over.
Boy.
Yeah, thanks to everyone who watched. And F cancer. I hate it. So let's get those funds raised. And yeah, thanks to Zero Counts for the lovely commentary. It's always good to see to hear his sultry voice.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Over my headphones. And yeah, thanks to Kat and Dave for putting this on. It's been awesome. And yeah, everyone have a good one. Enjoy the rest of the runs. And I mean, we'll both catch you later tonight, right, Zero? Is that correct?
Yes. I will be running Animaniacs later tonight. It's the second to last run of the marathon. So if you want to hear my voice again, come back for that. Yeah.
And yeah. So yeah, take care, everyone, and have a great marathon and a great day.